relationships with the animals in our care. You'll see firsthand how we train and how animal participation contributes to their health and well-being. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get a big round of applause for our training team. Let me introduce you to the awesome people out there today. Starting over here on the left side, we have Tim. On Center Island in the back, I see Joe and April. And over here on the right side island, say hi to Maddie and Emmy. Okay, the trainers are ready to go, so they just blew their training whistles to let the Pacific Whitesided dolphins know it's time to get started. We're going to start today's show by taking a look at how the training process begins. Please focus your attention here on the left side island, where Tim is working with TK, an adult female dolphin. Now, before any training can take place, we first have to build a relationship between the animal and the trainer. Let's look in and see how Tim is building this relationship. Aw, a tongue tickle. That's a fun sensation for the dolphins. Now he's feeding her delicious seafood and rubbing her and tickling her on her belly. This is all fun stuff that TK enjoys. We want to build a fun, trusting relationship with the animal. Now that that's started, we're going to teach her a very important sound, the sound of the training whistle. Now to these dolphins, the training whistle means thank you and good job, but how do the dolphins know that? Let's listen in on how Tim uses his whistle. A whistle followed by nice applause. I like that one too. A whistle followed by fish. A whistle followed by a rub on the head. By always following the whistle with something nice or fun, it's not long before TK puts it together. Hey, this whistle means thank you and good job. Okay, now we're going to move on to a simple but important game called targeting. Now the object here is for the dolphin to touch her head to a target. The very first target we're going to start with is the trainer's hand. So watch how Tim puts his hand on the dolphin's head, blows the whistle, and applauds. Head touch, whistle, blow, tasty treat. Head touch, whistle, splash of water. Hey folks, by this time, the dolphin's having fun just having her head touched. So, let's change the rules of the game and see if TK follows along. What do you think will happen if, instead of having our trainer put his hand on the dolphin's head, what if we asked him to hold his hand over TK's head? Let's see what she does. Oh, almost. She might need to rebalance on that one right there. Oh, she had to go explore and see what someone else was doing. I will ask her one more time. You can see she can find that target wherever it goes. We can put it high, we can put it low, we can put it to the side, we can use tools and toys to extend our reach in the habitat. We can even send the target to new locations. Watch as Tim gives a hand signal, asking TK to find a totally new target. There it is. Now, Tim's not providing a target, but at Center Island, Joe is slapping the water with a target buoy. And there's TK. Joe says thank you with a tasty piece of fish and the whistle before giving the same hand signal. Hey, dolphin, find a totally new target. Back where we started with Tim, he's slapping the water. These animals have great underwater hearing. And slowly but surely, there's TK. You guys can see how this very simple head-touching game has now turned into a way for us to ask the dolphins to move around in the habitat. Now guys, this is just one way to train. There are lots of ways to train animals, and because of the relationship building we do, believe it or not, we can train the dolphins by doing what you're doing right now, watching them at play. On their own, dolphins do some pretty incredible things. Take a look on the left. This move could help corral fish for a tasty dinner. Take a look in the center of the habitat. That's a dramatic way to scratch an itch. Right side. A cultural skill, they blow their training whistle. Remember guys, the whistle means thank you and good job. So when the dolphins know that we're having fun watching them, they're very likely to repeat their fun activities. Then we can teach them a hand signal to go along with a particular skill. Then we can ask them for an awesome natural behavior on cue. We're going to take a look at how the hand signals and whistles work together. Please focus your attention over here on the right side island where Maddie is working with Paquette. Paquette is a female adult who recently came back from maternity leave. In just a moment, Madeline's going to give a hand signal asking this dolphin to swim to the center of the habitat and jump up high in the air. Timing is important, so watch for the trainer's hand signal and listen for her whistle. There's the hand signal. Now everyone look in the center. Wow, a beautiful jump by Paquette. Oh, that was easily like 10 feet out of the water right there. Did everyone hear the training whistle? Maddie blew the whistle at the very top of Paquette's jump, and that's important because we're saying, good job, Paquette, we like it when you're jumping high. If we blow the whistle at a different time, for example, if we start blowing the whistle when her body is hitting the water and she's making a splash, that would say we really like splashing. And that's how we're going to try to get everyone sitting here in the front super wet with freezing salt water. I'm kidding, we're not going to do that. No, not today. We are going to play the jumping game over again. We are going to blow the whistle at a different time. Pay attention to how the whistle is changing the rules of the game. Are you ready, Maddie and Paquette? There's the hand signal. Now look in the center. One jump, no whistle. So, she jumps again. Still no whistle. There's the whistle on jump number 3, so she races right back to Maddie to see what's going on next. Let's give Paquette a hand. You can see how the whistle has become an important tool because thank you and good job can mean other things like this game is over. Let's move on to another activity. Well, folks, it is time for us to say goodbye to the dolphins for the next part of the show. So let's get a big round of applause for the dolphins. One of the goals of this show is to introduce you to different animals. In just a moment, you'll all be getting a chance to meet a red-tailed hawk named Tahoma. Now here at Shedd Aquarium, we have a number of birds of prey, including red-tailed hawks and owls. Eventually, we would like to ask all of our birds of prey to fly during the shows. Today, we're working on getting the birds comfortable meeting large crowds of people. So you're a part of Tahoma's training session today. I've got some favors to ask everyone. We're going to ask everyone to remain seated in a seat for this segment, especially you guys in the front. So grown-ups, please hold on to your littlest ones. Please make sure to keep your hands to yourself, and please no flash photography. We want to create a really fun, safe environment for Tahoma to have a good experience in front of a big crowd. It looks like Tracy and Tahoma are ready to go, so I'll step back for training in action with Tahoma. Those of you who are having a harder time seeing, don't forget the video projection where you can see the beautiful auburn feathers where red-tailed hawks get their name from. You can see that Tracy is using the same kind of training tools our dolphins do. She has a whistle and some tasty treats. Now, this is a really great opportunity for Tahoma to get a little bit of training in. We're giving her big thank yous for being so calm in front of the crowd today. It's also an opportunity to see her awesome talons and her powerful beak. Red-tailed hawks soar up high before diving down to catch their food. They need pinpoint accuracy when they're looking for field mice in the wild. A red-tailed hawk in the wild can spot a mouse from as much as a mile away. Tahoma is a rescued bird who came to us because she began to lose vision in one of her eyes. She's doing pretty well here and seems to be doing very well in front of the crowd today. All right, let's get a nice round of applause for Tahoma for joining us out here today. And a big thank you to Tracy, our bird handler. Now, did everyone notice the pouch of treats that Tracy was using? It was full of nice, big, juicy pieces of mouse. I know, I hope there's not mouse on my dinner plate tonight, but for a red-tailed hawk, it's a delicacy, and that makes it a great piece of positive reinforcement. Now, folks, because we have more time to spend with you, we'd like to welcome back out with a big round of applause the Pacific Whitesided Dolphins. Okay, you can see the trainers are getting set back up with all of their training tools. Their buckets of fish, their whistles. Hey, did you folks notice the bright, colorful shapes the trainers are holding? Each dolphin has his or her own color and shape combination. That's how everyone knows who they're working with today. It's basically a dolphin name tag. We'll give these dynamic animals a moment to set up. They have a top swimming speed of 25 miles per hour and a vertical leap of about 15 feet out of the water. Next up, I want to take a minute and talk about the reason why we train the animals. The ultimate goal is to provide the best care for everyone who calls Shedd home. And a great way for us to accomplish that goal, we've turned a variety of medical checkup procedures into games for the animals. Let's look out in the habitat and see what games are going on that are secretly check-up practices. Take a look over here on the right side island. You can see that Madeline is working with Paquette, and they were checking out Paquette's face and eyes. They were doing something really fun and simple, splashing Paquette's face with water. But specifically, right now, looking at her teeth, her tongue, and her gums. Looking for the health of the animal, but keeping it fun by splashing her, tickling her, and giving her fish. Over here on the left side island, we're joined by a special helper today. Sarah's out there working with Tim and TK, and she's basically playing the role of a veterinarian for us today. These dolphins see the trainers every single day, but on occasion they really do need to meet a new person, like a new veterinarian, for example. By having Sarah out there helping us, she's doing the same kind of stuff a veterinarian would really need to do. For example, rubbing TK's side. We practice that procedure every day for when we need to give the dolphins an ultrasound examination. Now, we don't do ultrasounds all the time, but we practice the game every day, so it's a normal part of the day for all of the animals. And of course, ultrasounds are not only good for seeing developing pregnancies, but also good for an overall picture of animal health. Now, let's get a round of applause for Sarah for being our helper out there today. I keep using the word game, and that's on purpose, guys. We want to maintain a sense of play. We want to have fun and engage the animals. Our ultimate goal is to keep everyone healthy and happy at the same time. Now, folks, we do have some new training that we're working on that we're going to be showing you next. From Left Side Island and Center Island, our trainers will be asking these two dolphins to do a behavior together. Take a look in the center. A very nice splash from TK and Extravaganza. Now, right now, we're working on putting together our holiday show. And one of the things we would like to do for the holiday show is start it off with that big splash. So, we're going to be having the trainers move to the other side of the rocks, and they'll kind of hide away over there. Then they'll give the same hand signal to ask the dolphins to make a splash in the big pool. Now, we're still practicing this game, so we're going to be asking the dolphins to do it one by one first, and then finally together. The goal here for the trainers is to have this splash come out of nowhere to start the holiday show off with a bang. But first, we need to make sure the dolphins understand what we're asking for. So, the trainers are setting up behind the rocks, making sure they have the attention. All right, look here in the very center. A beautiful splash from Redtailed. Now we'll ask TK to make the same splash, hopefully in the center. Oh, they're both going to try it at the same time. Look in the middle. Well, one of them remembered to do it. That's okay. Here at Shedd Aquarium, we practice positive reinforcement training. Now, it looks like our trainers are moving around a little bit. We would like to end this training on a positive note where the dolphins are doing good and being rewarded. We want every training session to end well so that it's remembered positively with a tasty treat. So we are going to play this game over again with TK and Redtailed. Our holiday show is still a couple of weeks away. We have plenty of time to work on this. So we want to take it slow and make sure that we're keeping it fun and interesting for the dolphins. A very nice splash from Redtailed. All right, we're going to go ahead and end the training session right there. Let's get a round of applause for TK and Redtailed. Now, folks, we'll give the trainers a moment to settle back in their spots. You have learned a lot about how we train, and you've seen why this training is important. Now we want to put it all together and show off what these dynamic animals are capable of. I'm going to take another step back and turn things over to the training team and the Pacific Whitesided Dolphins. thank you so much for joining us for our aquatic show. We hope you've enjoyed learning more about how and why we train the animals here at Shedd. Now that the show is over, you've got two options to exit for the wild